Look, I hear you. Speedrunning Stardew Valley, the chillest game of all time? What does a Stardew Valley speedrun even look like? Well, there's actually quite a few different Stardew Valley speedrunning categories. Finishing the community center, marrying a villager, reaching a specific floor in the mines. But what I'm looking at today is something much sillier. You see, besides all of these obvious and normal-sounding speedruns, an entire category of meme speedruns exist. And within that group, a simple little speedrun created by prolific Stardew Valley creator Shawnee Do called Hatmouse can be found. Now, I am way beyond even fashionably late to this party, as this speedrun was created and at its most popular a good couple of years ago now. But as someone who has always loved watching speedruns but never tried any out for myself, Hatmouse seemed like the perfect introductory point. So, with absolutely zero knowledge of what I was about to do, I booted up Stardew Valley and started making attempts. This is my journey into learning Stardew Valley speedrunning. Alright, so Hatmouse is a pretty simple speedrun. You just need to run down into Cindersap Forest and speak with the cute little mouse who runs the hat shop there as quickly as possible. However, that little mouse doesn't appear until you achieve at least one achievement in the save. The quickest achievement to get is easily DIY, which you get for crafting 15 different items. This one is quick because you start a fresh farm already knowing 10 crafting recipes, all which can be crafted using the materials you gather on your farm. So that's all well and good, but what do you do about the other 5 recipes that you'll need to gather? In 1.5, you would have to level up your foraging skill to get 2 additional recipes and then use all 500 of your starting gold to purchase the last 3 from Robin. 1.6 introduced a new farm type, and with it, a couple cute little chicks that you can sell to gain the few extra gold needed to just purchase all 5 additional recipes from Robin. Look, no one ever said that speedrunning was for the weak. 1.6 also introduced the ability to move your farmhouse, which we'll do since we have to go to Robin's anyways and we can place it near the bottom of the farm to get to Cindersap more quickly, since we're gonna pass out after visiting Robin and quick teleport back to the farm anyways. So, the general route we'll be following is this. Wake up on the Meadowlands farm, sell 1 chicken, chop down trees to gather at least 126 wood, gather 15 stone and 10 fiber, clear a 5x9 spot at the bottom of the farm for the house to go, run to Robin's and buy 5 pathway recipes, move the farmhouse, craft all 15 items, pass out, run down to Hatmouse the next morning and meet your cute little buddy. Simple as pie, right? Oh, well, one other major piece to this entire speedrun is animation canceling. If you've never heard of it, there's a series of buttons that you can press while your Stardew character is mid-animation to cancel that animation and reset the sprite. This is helpful because if you can time it right, you can cut fractions of a second off of every axe, scythe, and pickaxe swing you make throughout this run. And there are a lot of them, so that time really adds up over the course of the entire speedrun. Animation canceling is great, but it's hard to get the timing right. Do it too quickly and you'll cancel the animation before the game registers that it's happened and it won't count. You can drain your energy really quickly this way, and this run doesn't have a ton of room for error. You can accidentally exhaust yourself way before you mean to and ruin a run very easily, believe me. So now that we generally know what we're doing, we are ready to make our first speedrun attempt. Looking back on this one is actually so embarrassing. I actually took the time to dress up a character, which is wild, and stops happening almost immediately after this one. This attempt was a lot more just to get a feel for it than anything else, which is clear when I run out of energy at 10 a.m. without gathering enough of any of the materials I need and start over. So this next run is a little bit stronger. I start by moving the bed so that when I wake up the next day after passing out, I'll start closer to the door. I'm still going into the barn to sell these chicks, but the menuing is getting much cleaner. I begin to figure out the pathing for the trees. I need to cut down 10 of them, but I struggled a lot trying to keep track of what number I was at, especially before I had started to memorize how many of each material I needed to craft all the 15 items. That's how I ended up cutting down another tree on the path to Robin's, exhausting myself too early and having to start the run over. Are you starting to see a pattern? The first run I actually ended up finishing was at a solid 5:45, which would put me at 50th in the world, baby! Out of a possible 58. Oh. So, this is where the grinding really starts. You can read about the routes and watch other speedruns all you want, but until you're in there and actually doing it yourself, it's really hard to understand all the things you need to be thinking about. I'm counting how many swings I've made on every tree, how many total trees I've cut down, keeping track of how many stones I have, how much fiber, how much freaking energy! My first salvation comes when I realize that after cutting down the 9th tree, the notification that you've leveled up to Foraging 1 will appear, which means that I can stop trying to count and remember how many trees I've already cut down and just use that as my benchmark. With this in mind, I hit my first sub-5 run. I do run after run. Some runs go pretty well until heartbreakingly you realize that you're standing in the middle of Robin's shop missing a stone. And also, did you know that there are no stones in Cindersap, so you can't just pick up the last one on your way down to finish the route? Just so you know. But by far, my biggest issue is that I cannot, for the life of me, quick switch between my tools. So I'm running whole sections one tool at a time, which is just wasting a ton of time. But scrolling on the mouse wheel is inconsistent and jumping my fingers up to the number keys is tripping me up, so what is a girl to do? But then it hits me. Can I just rebind the keys for the axe, scythe, and pickaxe to something that I can easily hit while keeping my little fingies on the WASD keys? So I went to the holy grail of Stardew Valley speedrunning, the Discord, and got confirmation from the lovely folk there that you absolutely are allowed to rebind your keys however you want and still be a legal run. And oh baby, did this crack the whole thing wide open for me. Now, choosing the keys to map to was kind of tricky. I tried quite a few different combinations, but eventually I settled on this. Axe goes to left shift, scythe goes to F, and pickaxe goes to C. Now, this mapping looks insane, and I can never play normal Stardew Valley again while it's set up like this, but holy moly! The next run after I made that switch shaves 15 seconds off of my time. 15 seconds in a 4-minute long speedrun? That's insane! The next biggest issue I was running into was the physical routing as I moved through the farm. You need to run all the way to the bottom at some point in order to clear the spot that the farmhouse is going to go, and then all the way back up to get back to Robin's. But trying to figure out the most optimal route to do that while gathering all the materials you need is tricky. For a long time, I was cutting down trees horizontally across the top of the farm because I could pick up the wood as I was moving to the next tree. But I eventually realized that if you just chop down the trees as you're moving vertically down to the bottom of the farm, you don't actually need to worry about picking up all the wood in the moment because you're gonna run right back up here anyways on your way back up to Robin, so you can just leave it and then pick it up as you're coming back. I spent some time trying to figure out the best tree pattern. I eventually settle on this pattern because it's the most straight vertically without cutting the trees down in a way where the wood falls in front of stumps that I get stuck on every time. Other people might not have problems with this, but I had a lot of problems with it, so this is my route. So, with all that said and done, we've got it. The route. It's ready. Here it is. Pick up the bed. Don't put it down, just keep it in your inventory. Cut the tree next to the farmhouse. Cut the tree next to the fenced area. Open the coop door. Cut the tree in the fenced area. Pickaxe any stone in the fenced area while waiting for the chickens to come out. Cut your way out of the fence in the bottom right to pick up the wood from that second tree and set yourself up for the next tree. Cut this tree. Then this one, then this one, then this one. Get the notification that you've leveled up foraging. One more tree. Gather a couple stone or fiber as you make your way down to the bottom area if it's in your path. Cut down this tree, stump, and all your houses go in here, get rid of that stump. Clear the area around here for that house. Collect enough stone to get you to 14 total. Scythe your way back up, collecting all the wood from before. Make sure you get to 10 fiber if you haven't got it already. Pickaxe the stone that blocks the road upwards from your farm. This is your 15th stone. Run to Robin's. Celebrate if you make it to this screen before 9 a.m. Buy the 5 pathways from Robin. Move the farmhouse, craft your 15 items, pass the frick out, mash escape to skip the level up screen, run down through Cindersap, talk to the mouse, do that like 200 times, and eventually you'll do it in 3:29:41. And you know what that means? That's a top 10 time, baby! From the very beginning, I knew I wasn't going to get the world record in this category. I mean, seriously, number 1 is 3:16. That's still like 15 seconds faster than my best time. That's impossible. But I was really hoping to get to the top 10. I reached 13th place back in January, and I was gonna make this video then, but I just really wanted to get to the top 10, so I worked on it until I made it happen. And I'm proud of myself. This is my first ever speedrun, and I am so happy to have done it in such a silly way and in one of my favorite games of all time. And 10th place isn't bad. I think it's pretty impressive actually, and my mom said she's proud of me, so